100.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
And we are back. This is our final segment of the afternoon. It's not Monday, but Coach Brian Haddad is in the building with us, and we've got Pharaoh as well. We're going to have Monte on the phone line with us shortly. I'm going to let you guys go into it because just go ahead. Because every time that we get you guys, every time that we get you on here for a segment, before you know it, it's over. So
well, let's go.
Talk to the people. And we've got a question here for you if y'all...
well, we'll see because we got a lot to get into. But again, Monte and the Pharaoh, Cablevision, Facebook, YouTube, Thursdays, 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern. Gentlemen, and you too, how we doing?
I was going to say, gentlemen, where? How you doing, Coach? What's up, Hayes?
Doing well. What's
going
up,
on,
Monte?
my man?
What up, guys? What up?
There
What's up, Coach?
What's
what up,
up?
Jimmy Jam? How are you, baby?
What's up, bro?
All right, so Money in the Bank this Saturday up in Toronto, fourth consecutive premium live event that's outside the U.S. But, guys, I got to start with something else. Okay. Can we just give Paul Heyman an Academy Award already?
He looks terrible. Is he okay?
He's doing terrible. He's doing the best acting. And you know what? I brought this up with you and Jess, Jimmy, but honest to God, this is a television serial program. He could legitimately win an Emmy, and I'm not sure he shouldn't.
Yeah.
What do you think?
As the advocate turns.
I mean,
this is a soap opera. He's fantastic.
I mean, being serious, Monte. What do you think about that? He's done the best work of his career, and that's saying something.
I got to tell you, I got to totally agree with you, Coach, and I got to give the makeup artist tons of credit for Paul Heyman. People are thinking this guy stayed up for 4 days. I'm sorry, everybody. It's makeup and eye drops. Come on now.
You're saying
Let's
he's not
realistic here.
Mike,
he's not a method actor?
I think it's weed. I think that he smoked a fatty and went out there. That's what I think. He would have done that back in ECW days. Why not now?
That's a good makeup artist there.
There you go.
The other question I have to ask you guys, and it made me crack up. It's gone viral. It's all over the sports world, but the whole Hawk Tua thing is just crazy with the girl in Nashville. And the first thought the second thought I had was if the Iron Sheik was still alive, he would be after her for royalties, would he not?
Oh.
He's the king of Hawk Tua.
He would be after it, but of course Sheik would not have been smart enough to trademark Hawk Tua.
You know what's so funny is I actually woke up with like a tickle in my throat today, and like I was trying to get the phlegm up, and I was like, oh my gosh, man!
Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't say it.
Oh man.
Oh, well, let's get into Money in the Bank here again. 5 matches again. I like these shows, probably a little less than 3 hours. Now, we do have 2 Money in the Bank ladder matches. I'll be honest, I don't love 2 ladder matches on the same show. I wish they would put the ladies one on one show and then the men's one on another and alternate them, maybe even alternate them against King of the Ring, but that's neither here nor there.
All right.
Let's talk about those matches first. The winner obviously gets the briefcase. They have a year to cash in for a title shot. Let's just not so much the predictions on the scripted TV show, but what are our thoughts with the Money in the Bank matches? What are we looking for here?
I think the Money in the Bank matches are going to deliver like they usually do. I got my suspicions about who I think is going to win. We're not giving observations.
We certainly can.
You know, I feel like LA Knight is possibly going to get the briefcase. It's just so many. It's just so long you can wait for LA Knight to win a belt of some kind. You know, and it won't necessarily be the heavyweight title. That's what's changed so much over the years with Money in the Bank, especially in recent years. It doesn't necessarily mean when you cash in, you're going to cash in on the world title.
That's right.
Even though I don't like that, but that's become a reality nowadays. So I'm leaning towards LA Knight a little bit in the match. Mike, what do you think about it?
Jimmy, I like that call. LA Knight goes after the U.S. title. I think that is definitely a possibility. But how long are you going to play with Drew McIntyre before it becomes too old?
Right.
Right. I think, Jimmy, I really love the LA Knight choice, but I just have to stick with the Drew McIntyre winning this thing and cashing in on the same night.
Interesting.
Well, and that's something that Jimmy and I were talking about before the show, is that there usually is one fairly immediate cash in, and then the other one takes a while.
Right.
Guys, there's no other women's matches on this card. So if there's going to be an immediate cash in, I think Mike's right. I think it could be a Drew or something like that. But the thing we can't look past, whether we like the whole character arc or not, Jey Uso is one of the hottest stars they have. And they're clearly building him up. I mean, the fans are into him. We may not be, but the fans are into him. And, you know, you almost kind of think they might try and strike while the iron's hot on this deal.
Right.
That's what I like about this men's one. I mean, usually you have one star that's lined up and 5 sacrificial lambs. You may have that on the women's side.
Yeah.
This guy's one's wide open.
I mean, I think if you want to have a great storyline, I'm gonna try to piggyback off Mike's idea. What I think would be really cool is that if the Judgment, because there's these rumors that the Judgment Day may, you know, depart with Priest and vice versa.
That's right.
You know, I think it would be interesting if the Judgment Day helps Priest win the match, but then they turn on Priest and McIntyre. If he wins the match, the Money in the Bank cashes in right then and there.
Interesting.
I think that would be a very interesting storyline right there. So if you're looking for drama, that works for me. If you're looking for the guy who probably it's about time he won something of some sort, it's LA Knight. So it's probably going to be one of those two things. And now watch, Chad Gable wins and we're all confused.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Well, the long-term storytelling, it's not that long-term, but obviously Seth, Damian, Drew were involved at WrestleMania. So having those 3 involved in the story again does make total sense.
Right.
On the women's side, I thought they've done a wonderful job getting some surprise people in here.
Tiff time.
But I think, this one looks like Tiffany time to me.
Yeah, I'm pointing at my imaginary watch. Mike, do you think it's Tiffany time? Come on, man. Please say yes.
You know what? I want it to be Tiffany time, but the better story is with help me out, guys. The Karen of the group.
Chelsea Green?
Chelsea Green.
Well, how great would that be?
Let me tell you, it would be comedy gold, her with that briefcase for however long it would be. But
you know, there's always a shock on the card. Chelsea Green would definitely be that shock, right?
Yeah. Well, you know, again, I think that's the better story. Again, but you know, at what point are we pushing Tiffany to?
Right.
So, I want Tiffany, but I really think Chelsea Green's winning this thing.
We added an interest probably to make a 5th match and to get some star power on the card. Not like it's lacking, but Cody and Randy Orton and Kevin Owens will be taking on the Bloodline. They've kind of developed the story over the last couple of weeks. I think it's very interesting. It's probably going to be fairly brutal. My only worry in this entire thing that they've done with the Bloodline, I'm curious to y'all's thoughts. I'm worried that Tongaloa and Tama Tonga have been a little bit lost in the shuffle by Jacob Fatu coming in. Okay. This might be a good avenue for them to show some of what they have versus just being kind of lackeys and henchmen, if you will.
I feel like they need to win the match.
Yeah.
You know, most importantly of all, you're still trying to, as a boy. Well, one thing's established: the fans hate this version of the Bloodline. Oh my God, they hate them. So you have that going on, but they need credibility too. They need to win this match.
Yeah.
One way or the other.
You can't have the Bloodline lose the rest of the way through, especially after Friday night, right? And look, it's SummerSlam's around the corner. You know, Randy is RKO and Cody on Saturday. It's got to happen. It's no doubt it's got to happen. You got to move Cody. You got to move Randy into the thing. And let's not put, you know, maybe the fact Kevin Owens does something to Cody Rhodes also.
Possible.
But there'll certainly be a heel turn for sure.
Hope so.
And the Bloodline has to win.
Yeah.
So we talked a little about Seth and Damian, but we didn't really get into what we think, particularly, Jimmy, you mentioned maybe Judgment Day helping him beat Seth and then turning.
I think that would be great.
Yeah.
Honestly. I mean, somewhere down the road, Balor, I still feel like there's going to be a point where Balor wins the belt one more time.
Yeah.
Out of nowhere. It might be something we don't expect, or at least fights again for it. At the very least, so I think that would be the great finish to me. Yeah. Is that they assist Priest and then turn on him, and then here comes Drew. You know,
I'm always wrong, guys, but I'm going to just call it like this: Judgment Day is going to get involved. Damian Priest will tell them to stay out of it. In some way, they're going to cost Priest a match, and Seth Rollins is going to win the title on Saturday. That one is a Monte guarantee. That's a lock.
Interesting. I think
lock.
Seth should. On the surface, you know that I would book Seth to be champion. I think you know how I think, Mike. So I would go with Seth.
They did
but Jimmy, don't forget, I called for Drew to win the title, though. So does Drew cash in on Seth the same night?
I don't feel that way.
That's a tough one.
I don't feel that.
They did a wonderful job with the stipulations, putting some confusion out there. If Seth loses, he can no longer fight for that title.
Right.
If Damian loses, he's out of Judgment Day, which seems like an odd
But you know what happens?
stipulation.
You know what happens there? If Seth does lose and he can't fight anymore for that title, you're going to see him appear on SmackDown.
There you go. All right, in our Intercontinental title, this is one I can't figure out because it seems a little rushed, but obviously the star of the future is Braun Breaker. We all know that. Son of Rick Steiner, nephew of Scott Steiner. He's taken on Sami Zayn, who obviously works better as an underdog and as a chaser, not as a champion.
Yeah.
Is this the time that Braun Breaker gets gold?
Better be. This, to me, is like, there's no way around this. Breaker should win this match and win this title right now. No elongated nonsense. No stretching this thing out. Braun Breaker is a bulldozer. Go kill him. The end. You know, that's how I feel about it. I would be very irritated if Braun Breaker doesn't walk out of their champion. This is where I do get the angry Mark syndrome. I'll be very angry. You know, Mike, what do you think?
Jimmy, I'm going to have to say I would agree with you, but for some reason, I don't think it's happening.
Can
I
they
don't
ever
know
do
if he's going
anything
to lose.
predictable ever? Just
to be honest, I would like to get one right, actually, because I can't seem to get anything right. So it'd be helpful if I could get one thing right during these pay-per-views.
See, I think it's been a little quick with the way they've been building it. I could have seen Breaker winning it the way the Ultimate Warrior took it off of Honky Tonk, where he just showed up out of nowhere and bulldozed him in 30 seconds. I could have seen that as your introduction of Braun Breaker. The way they're doing it, I have a feeling, I'm a little like Mike, I think they're going to drag it a little bit with him. I don't think it's the right thing, but I think that's what they're going to do.
If you're going to drag it, I guess that's okay, but God forbid if Sami Zayn pins Braun Breaker.
I agree with that.
You will deflate that rolling machine that he is right now. So
I can easily...
Jimmy, I don't think that's happening, guys. I can't see Sami pinning Braun Breaker. That would be disastrous.
Right.
Yeah, as much as I hate him, I could easily see a DQ finish here from.
There is always that. We never talk about
That's
that.
right.
But I mean, every result we try to look at these observations / predictions as clear-cut results. They don't do that a lot.
Yeah.
You know, they throw a double DQ in, and there goes all your, observations and predictions.
My observation here is that Braun Breaker really does look a lot like his dad, and I guess that would be his uncle.
God, yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
So
That's
let's
cool.
get to it now. You had a listener or question. Let's try it. We don't have a lot of time, but let's try it.
All right. You got about 2 minutes here. Let's see if... all right. It's not too far behind. Here's a question for them. Mount Rushmore of hottest wrestling divas all time.
You used the word behind before you go Unbelievable. By the way, I call him Hayes out of loving respect. I'm comfortable with you.
Why don't we do this? Why don't we build
This is crazy.
one? Why don't we build one?
This is a Kyle Albritton question.
Guys,
Okay, good question.
I'll get us started. It begins and ends with me, and Jimmy knows this.
Okay, here we go.
I am still in love with Stacey Keebler.
I know.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, you want Hawk Tour all over the place. Yeah, we know all about that. I kept that clean, by the way. I got away with that.
Yeah, you did.
Unbelievable. Oh, my God. Do I have to do this? I can't do
You
this,
don't have
Mike.
to do it.
Go. Do it, Mike.
Charlotte Stacey Keebler, Trish Stratus, Lita, and that's it.
That's four.
That's the four. That's
You got
the four.
two of mine. Stacey Keebler and Trish Stratus would be up there. Lita and Charlotte Flair, not as... it's not about in the ring for me.
Yeah, you're in pure diva looks here.
If you're talking about most attractive, Trish
Yeah.
Stratus, Tori Wilson, Alexa Bliss.
Yes.
You could probably throw a Kelly in there from back in the
Tori
day.
Wilson,
although she couldn't wrestle her way out of a paper bag.
You know what? Yeah. Okay. Fine. I'll throw Kelly in just for time constraint management. But I think that's a pretty hot four there.
Can we throw a little Terry Runnels in there?
Hey, there we go.
Just for a little love.
Not after JR. No. Sorry.
Oh, man.
Folks, don't.
Oh, Mandy
put her into
Rose.
that. Mandy Rose would be good.
I've never seen her.
Get Mandy Rose.
I know.
She replaces Kelly. There's one.
There we go.
There you go. Well, we're out of time. You want to wrap it up?
Guys, again, Monte and the Pharaoh, Cablevision, Facebook, YouTube. Go check out the YouTube library. Great interviews, great show, a lot of fun. Thursdays, 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern. As always, boys, enjoyed it.
Thank you very much, guys.
Love you, man. Thank you, guys.
See you
Be
tomorrow.
well, Jimmy.
Jesus loves you.
Be
So do
good.
I. Thank y'all.